So I've mentioned in several videos the impact of expectations and the impact of different news events on different things in the economy. In this video here, I just want to really quickly go through a situation where Jerome Powell, who is the Fed chairman in 2025, made an announcement and how that announcement had an impact on the stock market. And we'll chat about it a bit. Let's take a look. Central bank in Canada and the States, their main mandate is price stability, but also trying to keep the economy as close as possible to full employment or potential output, which is a well-functioning economy with just naturally occurring unemployment levels, no cyclical unemployment. And in that situation, they have to kind of balance out the different news to determine whether they're going to drop in interest rates or raise interest rates to try to stimulate the economy or cool it off. And in this time here, we're in April 2025, there's a lot of turbulence going on in the economy because of the tariffs that are being imposed by the Trump administration. And some of those policies may lead to an economy that's not going to perform as well. So some people were hoping that Jerome Powell, who's the Fed chairman, would announce that there will be some interest rate cuts in the foreseeable future. And when we think of interest rate cuts, those are good typically for the stock market because it leads to a situation where companies can borrow at a lower cost and therefore they can return a greater profit. So typically when interest rates go down, if we're just looking at the impact of that, not that we're going into a recession or something else, but as you have a situation where everything else is the same, your current economic situation is the same, and interest rates goes down, typically the stock market would gain value. And when interest rates are going up, the stock market would go down. In this situation here, his announcement was pretty much, we're just going to have to wait and see what's going to be the impact of these Trump tariffs on the economy. And the thing that we have to wonder in terms of what's going to happen to stock market values afterwards is, what were people expecting? If people were expecting that already, the value shouldn't have changed after this announcement. But if people were expecting him to announce that interest rates were going to drop, and he said, we're just going to wait and see, we're going to keep it stable for now, there's going to be a drop in the value of stocks. Well, let's take a look at what happened. So this announcement, this chat that he had, started at 1:30. And if we look at here, S&P 500, 1:30, he makes this announcement like 1:30, 1:35, and there's a big drop in the value of the S&P 500, loses like 80 points just by that announcement. If I look at the Dow Jones, same thing from 1:30 on, big drop in value. And if I look at the NASDAQ, same kind of thing happened from 1:30 on. So the rest of the day in all of these indices was pretty stable. And then all of a sudden you have this announcement and boom, it dropped. Okay. And then here there might be something happening afterwards. But generally speaking, we could see that this announcement was seen unfavorably by the market because they were hoping for something to come out in terms of some expectation that we should expect interest rates to drop in the foreseeable future, which would fuel spending more, not only by businesses, but by consumers. They can see that, okay, it's cheaper to get a car loan. And because that didn't happen, the value of those stocks have dropped, dropping the index value as well. So always keep in mind when it comes to what's going to be the impact of an announcement is, what was the expectation? Here the expectation was hopefully for the people looking at this, a drop in rates coming up. That wasn't announced, and that led to this drop in value. Even the status quo sometimes can lead to a situation where values drop because people were expecting a drop in interest rates. So hopefully this very quick illustration helps you understand the impact of various announcements based on the expectations. Have a good day. If you found this video interesting, please consider subscribing or joining my class where I guide you to apply and expand on the information found in these videos to real-life examples. Have a good day.